Good evening and welcome to Edition Financial Arena on the campus of UCF as we reach the midway point of this 2026 Major League Volleyball season. The Pulse taking on the Orlando Valkyries, and it should be a lot of fun to be courtside here in Central Florida. Welcome courtside, everybody, alongside the All-American at Florida State, Madison Fitzpatrick. I'm Sean Davison, and I use the word fun to describe this matchup, as so many of the matchups so far in this season, Madison, quite frankly, have been. We've learned already, folks, that in this season, in this league, no win is guaranteed, not even on your home floor. And this series between the Pulse and the Valks is a testament to that.
Absolutely. In their first meeting, the Valkyries got reverse swept. In their second meeting, the Valkyries won in 4. So it's a back and forth battle. Anything can happen. And to remind everybody, only the top 4 teams get into the playoffs. And the top 6 right now, it is so competitive. It could go either way every single night. So it's going to be a battle. And when it comes down to it, every win counts, as all 6 of those teams and every team in the league battles for those spots.
Yeah, just to add another layer to the equation, Dallas comes into today as the number 2 team in the standings, and Orlando checks in at this moment as the number 3. So
it's gonna be fun.
Can't get a lot tighter than it already is as we get set to go here at Edition Financial Arena. We'll introduce you to the starters for either side. Getting the start on the pin for Dallas will be the tandem of Sofia Maldonado-Diaz and Mimi Collier. Out of the middle, it'll be Lane Van Buskirk and Caitlin Horde. Off the right-hand side, it'll be Kaylee Cox at the opposite. And, of course, running the show will be Nadi Valentine Anderson. Kylie Murr will be in the libero jersey for Orlando. It'll be a combination of Looper and Schwann at the pin. In the middle, it'll be Kaz Brown and Natalie Foster. Off the right-hand side, at the opposite, it'll be Naya Shimei. And running the offense will be Champu. Teodora Pusic will be the libero for the Valks as we get ready for a heck of a matchup between Orlando and Dallas. There was a scrimmage in the adjacent building between the UCF Knights and the Florida Gators. And so a lot of those fans have made their way over from the venue at UCF over to Edition Financial Arena. Just a tremendous initiative by the Valkyries to bring some folks over and put a matchup like this in front of as many eyes as they possibly can, and it's a great decision.
And you know what's fun too, the college players that just played at Florida and UCF, they can come over and see where they could take their career, what they can do, what the next step could be. So these are definitely players, these pro players that those college players can look up to and kind of mold their careers off of.
Well, we are ready to get underway. Dallas will serve. They'll be on the right in the whites. Orlando will be on the left-hand side of your screen in the blues. Lane Van Buskirk does the honors, and away we go. Charity Looper will take the first swing for Orlando, dug by Maldonado-Diaz, and get ready for a lot of that. Mimi Collier and Sofia Maldonado-Diaz will hit some angles, and they'll do it often. 2
of the most lethal outside hitters in the league, and they're together. Very lethal tandem.
That'll extend the service for another point for Van Buskirk, who played her college volley at Pitt as a member of the Canadian national team. Head coach Shannon Windsor has been the head coach of the Canadian national team. She'll give way to Orlando's middle, Natalie Foster. 3 aces away from 100 in her MLV career. That will kiss the top of the tape and go down as a service error, 2-1 in favor of the Pulse.
Natalie Foster gets the green light every single time she's behind the service line. She's coming off of 5 aces, and like you said, 3 away from 100.
Nadi Valentine Anderson. And Madison, this is not too unfamiliar. We've seen 3 service errors in the first 4 points. Walk us through what it's like to start off a match and how tight you can be at that service line.
I mean, that's a good point. Both of these teams are really going for it. You have to have the service pressure to kind of minimize the opposing team's offense, so they're going for it early.
And off the block, that ball was into the antenna. It'll go down as a kill for Kaylee Cox, who the last time Dallas was in this building, she subbed in on the left for Sofia Maldonado-Diaz, but she has been so hot, and so too have the pins. She's playing off the right. Looper blows up the block, and that is a kill for Charity.
Charity Looper is coming off of an incredible performance. Her and Shampoo were in such a rhythm. She had 23 kills last match, hit 311, so really efficient. And she passed 65% good or positive, so she's definitely on a roll coming into this match.
And you go back to her rookie season, averaged 2.5 kills per set. This year, averaging 3.5, hit percentage up 40 points. So Charity Looper all the way around is having a very, very nice sophomore campaign, if you will.
Most definitely, and her and Shampoo, they run that tempo set, which really opens up the block, can find some gaps in the block, so she's been successful with that.
Board serves, and Schwann goes to work off the block and out, and that is something that Courtney Schwann has been doing more of. She's got a good swing, she is trusting it, and she's not afraid to go up into the block with it.
And that's exactly what Coach Amy Pauley wants her to start with. She says start with power, because we know Courtney Schwann has those off speed. She's very smart, so start with power to open that up.
Tight to the net, Valentine Anderson rescues it and gives Lane Van Buskirk room.
Lane Van Buskirk is one of the most efficient middles in the league, and Dallas loves to run through their middle early and often. It's a big emphasis for Valentine Anderson to get that middle going and set her often.
Naughty Valentine Anderson's been one of the best setters in this league over the first couple of seasons, having her best statistical season in year 3. That's dug over and kept up by Schwann, who will now go to work in transition. Off the deck, it is roofed. Van Buskirk with the rejection.
Really good read by Van Buskirk, just fronting Charity Looper right in front of her and then dropping those arms, diving it into the seam. Good invasive block, hands over the net. Really well done. Charity Looper can go on a roll from the back line, so that was a good block to stop her.
And Lane Van Buskirk has been one of the best blockers in the league as Natalie Foster swings away off the gap. And the middle blocker department is something that Amy Pauley is finding a lot more positives in. They're getting a little more offensive.
And Coach Windsor, that was one of her keys to the game. They have to slow down the middle, she said.
Shampoo will serve. 3 attackers in the front row for Orlando. Mimi Collier off the pick, finds the sideline for the kill.
Mimi Collier gets set in the back row more than I think almost any other player in this league, her and Maldonado Diaz, and she's very efficient. She brings that power and that aggression even from the 3-meter line.
Sophia Maldonado Diaz, who finished her college career but she and Mimi Collier, who you referenced, Madison, are 1-2 in terms of kills per set in the league, and they're almost a mirror image of each other. Van Buskirk off 1 foot. Good defense by Orlando, but that will be out of play off the hand of Pusic.
Coach Amy Pauley, when speaking about Collier and Maldonado Diaz, she said, look, they're going to get their points, but what we need to do is minimize the other players' points. So Lane Van Buskirk, they want to slow her down. The other attackers, they want to keep their numbers low, because Coach Amy Pauley said, yeah, we know Collier and Maldonado Diaz are going to score.
Pusic in there on serve, receive. Of equation early.
Nia Shimei contacts the ball nice and high. She doesn't let it drop at all. She's got a lot of range. She had 17 kills, then 17 kills again, back-to-back matches, then hitting the negative. So I'd look to her to get going early and often.
Yeah, that positive start is going to be oh so important for Nia Shimei to get those good vibes rolling here this afternoon. Orlando, without the services of Brittany Abercrombie, going to need a little more from everybody else without the reigning league MVP.
Absolutely. It's every single player stepping up, maybe adding a kill or two to what they normally do, filling in the hole with Brittany Abercrombie.
Looper, dug by Murr. Collier off hands, that's another kill for Mimi.
Dallas Pulse's transition efficiency is at the top of the league, hitting 262. They're leading the league in that category. Overall, they're first in efficiency at 270, but right there, that was good transition kill, and that's why they're at the top of the league in transition efficiency.
Good first ball there by Courtney Schwann. A complete pro for Orlando, has all the shots and is a plus passer. And when you have somebody like that manning first contact, you afford opportunities for everybody else. Chimay on the board again.
That is such a valuable player to have on this team. The control, getting it all the way to your setter so she can run her full offense. The Valkyries won that past match versus Dallas because of the balanced offense, and that comes with the pass.
Chimay serves. A lot of SMU Mustangs on the floor between each of these teams. Chimay finished her career at SMU after playing at Wyoming. Amy Collier just wrapped up her college career, the first overall draft pick out of Wisconsin. Her career began at Oregon, and she has played a lot of volleyball. From the end of her season to this point, she's been impressive, and there's Kaz Brown going behind the setter for the kill.
Kaz Brown has been on a tear recently. Behind the setter on the slide is her bread and butter, and it's so fast. It's such a tempo slide. It really stresses the block, and she's able to find so many holes.
Yeah, she's had roughly 2 kills per set the last 5 matches. She's hit 300 or higher in 4 of them as Maldonado Diaz goes into the cross court for the kill number 2 in white.
Maldonado Diaz, second in the league in kills per set at 4.16 and third in points at 4.67. I call her and Collier the most lethal outside hitter tandem in the league, and it's true.
Board will serve Pusic. Brown tips it over the top of the block and down. Nice vision of the court by Orlando's veteran middle Kaz Brown in year number 9, the Kentucky Wildcat.
And Kaz Brown's very experienced. You can see it in just her shot selection and when she decides to tip, when she decides to drive it deep. Really smart player.
Serves it to Murr. Maldonado Diaz goes sharp into the cross court. Orlando able to handle it initially, but nothing else doing for the Valkyries. Dallas out ahead early, has maintained a 3 to 4 point lead for the first half of this set, approaching the midway technical timeout. Champu will bump Chimay. Nice pickup there by Cox. And Maldonado Diaz couldn't get her full hand on that ball. Would have taken 4 contacts. Orlando back within 3.
That was a tough one. Valentine Anderson scrambling to get to that set. Set it a little low. Maldonado Diaz didn't totally have her feet there, but still, Dallas up by 3.
Champu serves. Off 1 foot, Van Buskirk will execute. Boy, Van Buskirk is so good. She doesn't have a huge kill volume, right? But what she does have is efficient, and she's been one of the best defensive middles in the league. She has really been a tremendous all-around player this year.
And that's really what you want from your middle. Every time you get set, you're taking advantage of the opportunity because that will open up your pins later on in the match as well.
Nia Chimay will swing off the left in this rotation. Mimi Collier goes into that cross court, 4 to 4 yet again. Chimay turned back by the double block, pop back over. Maldonado Diaz, what touch off the bick.
And you can see all of the Pulse's routes running at the same time. They are so difficult to defend because you have the big, then you have the one in front of the setter. You got a D-ball, you have behind the setter, and then you also have Collier, who you have to respect out there on the outside. Right now, the Pulse hitting around 800 in this first set. Incredible efficiency.
A fantastic start to this match for Dallas on the road. They lead by 5 at the technical timeout. I know, I do too. Back here in Orlando, Dallas on the road with a 5-point lead over the Orlando Valkyries, the number 2 team in the standings versus the number 3 team in the MLV at this midway point. Madison, it's hard to believe we're already at the midway point of 2026.
And each match has been so tight. It's been so tightly contested and competitive. I mean, the talent in this league is as high as it's ever been. So it's really just flown by because these matches are just so much fun to watch, and we're just racing towards those playoffs. I know all these teams feel it.
In the blink of an eye, we're going to have the All-Star match right here at Edition Financial Arena. For those of you Brown inside the block. Maldonado Diaz picked up by Pusic, but dug under the net.
That was a smart swing by Maldonado Diaz. She just took advantage of it. Valentine Anderson was coming in to
and then if we need a fifth set, it's first to 15, win by 2 for the match. For those who are just joining us, each of the first 2 matchups between Dallas and Orlando, the road team won. Orlando won the first 2 sets back on January 25th here before Dallas was able to reverse sweep the Valkyries. Then on February 27th in Frisco, it was Orlando able to win on the road in 4.
And the Valkyries played really well that match. They were very balanced. They had 4 players with double-digit kills. Looper 15, Schwann 11, Schmey 17, and Foster 11. So they're looking for that balance here tonight to try and get another win.
Van der Weide off the left in that rotation. And Lindsay Van der Weide can really score it when she gets going.
Lindsay Van der Weide is a spark. She's an X factor. She's able to come in off of the bench and provide such a boost for this team, both in the numbers and in the affect and the way that she plays.
Service error there by Charity Looper. That'll be the 5th service error by Orlando. And Dallas has not been immune to them either. They have 4 service errors. Just the 1 ace by Hannah Pukas to offset the 9 errors combined. Caroline Muth will serve. And that gives Orlando a little more life.
Regarding the serve, Coach Windsor said we were more high error at the beginning of the season, so we've kind of scaled back our serves. She said now our serving's a little bit easier, so our blocking needs to be on point. But there, that serve in the net. If you're gonna miss, you wanna miss long, just to make the opposing serve-receive line think about it.
I mean, Klicka finished last season as the libero for Orlando. She's now in that DS role, serves it at Murr, and Murr passes a dime. Van Buskirk, the beneficiary, off the gap. Number 7 in white has another kill.
Kylie Murr, Volleymetrics has her as one of the top passers, if not the top passer in the league. She is dialed in right now. Beautiful 3 pass, and when Dallas Pulse has a 3 pass, they love to go quick. They're a tempo team. They run a very fast offense. They love to go quick to their middles.
3 kills on 4 swings now for Lane Van Buskirk. Cox serves, and Pusic is jammed up. Schwann high into the block and out. Nice swing by Courtney Schwann.
That's what we call attacking the block. The block was there, it was set, it was at the right time, but Schwann just attacked the block. She was very aggressive, and that's a lot of follow through. You're not swinging right in front of your face. You're following through, driving off of the block and off of their hands.
Boy, Orlando, they will bring the original duo back in off that dub sub, and I have to say that was a productive run for the dub sub for the Valkyries.
The Valkyries run a very productive dub sub, no matter who they put in.
Back within 1 at present. Maldonado Diaz, boy, that was pretty offense by the Pulse.
From my vantage point, there was about a foot of space between Nia Schmey and Natalie Foster. And Maldonado Diaz has such a fast arm swing. She cuts the ball off at the right time, and there's about a gap, about a foot of a gap that she can just drive through to get the kill.
That'll be kill number 6 on 8 swings for Sofia Maldonado Diaz, who, again, worth mentioning, she struggled a bit on January 25th here in Edition Financial Arena. That will be a service error, a very competitive one at that. Some of the Dallas players thought it was in. And that was just out.
Maybe an inch.
Schwann serves. Maldonado Diaz looking for the sideline. That is wide. Point Valkyries, and the winner of the next point will have set point.
We said coming into this was going to be a competitive matchup. Just historically speaking, these two teams play at such a high level. They play each other really hard. Maldonado Diaz still such an efficient night. 7 on 9 with 1 error, hitting 667. That is even high for a middle, who are historically usually one of your most efficient attackers. But she's a pin attacker, hitting 667. That's elite.
Dallas as a team hitting 385. Orlando as a team hitting 292. And really, if you're looking for issues, the only issues we've seen consistently tonight have been at the service line.
The service line, and then a couple missed attacks by Dallas. They have 5 errors on their swings, whereas the Valkyries playing a little cleaner later in this stretch. They only have 1.
And they've got one of their veterans back to serve.
You want Courtney Schwann on the service line in a
do.
situation like this. Very
Yes, you do.
consistent.
Pac-12 Player of the Year a number of years ago at the University of Washington. A volleyball junkie is Schwann. That ball's in play. Cox passes it well, and Collier will earn a set point opportunity for Dallas.
Coach Shannon Windsor told us last time they played the Valkyries, they didn't exploit that deep cross. She wants them to hit into that deep cross zone, and that's exactly what Collier just went for.
Lane Van Buskirk serves set point. It's a great serve, and it is the first ace at the perfect time for the Pulse to win set 1. So set 1 to the Pulse here in Orlando. As Emmy Klicka, who we saw check in to serve as the DS for the Valkyries, is going to be interviewed here in the arena, and we'll step aside for that.
What is the one thing people might not realize about the work it takes to be a pro athlete?
I think you can see that it takes a lot of work off the court and volleyball skills, but there's a lot that goes into it off the court in terms of working on the mental side of the game, and nutrition, sleep, and those kinds of things to prepare for short-term matches.
We love that. Gotta take note of that. And last but not least, amongst us is many young volleyball players. What is the one habit that they should start today?
I think just
Okay.
this comes to events like this to right in front of you, and I think it's just such a big opportunity for you guys to see volleyball at a high level and strive to make your
We love to hear it. They can also strive one day to do a t-shirt toss like you, which means we got a signed t-shirt from Penny herself to do with the American Kickstarter t-shirt toss. Let's go, girls.
Hey Orlando, it's game time. Your women's pro volleyball champions, the Orlando Valkyries, are back and ready to win. Enjoy the night out and feel the excitement of big plays, incredible athletes, and non-stop action. Every rally brings the crowd to its feet. Every point is a moment to cheer together. This is world-class volleyball, live at Edition Financial Arena. Don't just watch the game, be part of the celebration. Get your tickets now at orlandovalkyries.com.
Dallas, a city pulsing with electricity, alive with vibrant nightlife, bold art, and flavors from every corner of the world. And now, home to the unstoppable force of women's Major League Volleyball. Inspired by the heartbeat of the city and the tempo of the game, Dallas welcomes its newest powerhouse to the stage, the Dallas Pulse.
Every match is a new opportunity. For us, this is everything. The hours no one sees, the pressure, the belief it takes to keep going. Every serve carries expectation. Every rally demands heart. Every win brings us one step closer to becoming champions. This is Major League Volleyball, where the sport's top stars compete for greatness. This is our game, our league. Keep watching.
Home all alone looking
67. That is absolutely incredible numbers from a pin attack.
Back throw attack and kill. Leah Edmond calls. Dumped over by Kuaniga.
Diaz, Sophia Maldonado Diaz having an evening.
And she's got a whip of an arm. Scramble from Venegas. Scott got to it somehow. PBR scores. And what a set by Carlson.
Welcome back to Orlando. Set one to Dallas. 25-23. Orlando comes all the way back, trailing by as many as 5, only to have the Pulse win the final 2 points of the set. As we get back underway, Mimi Collier, number 15 in white, will get a touch call at the pin. Dallas now on the left-hand side of your screen. Orlando will be on the right. No challenge by the Valkyries. So Mimi Collier on the board first, and so is Dallas here in set number 2. Same story as set 1, first to 25, win by 2 as Lane Van Buskirk serves for the Pulse, and there is Natalie Foster. The ace-queen has yet to register one of those as she will go back to serve, but she does have a couple of kills off the gap.
And we really see an emphasis from both teams. When they get a 3 pass and they're perfectly in system, the setters will run through the middle a lot in serve receive. 2
for 2. And now looking for ace number 1. Haley Cox has done a nice job of handling that serve by Foster. Looper will lobby for a touch call. She's not going to get that. She's nodding back to the bench. You only get about 7 seconds to challenge if you want to, but it looks like Orlando's going to hang on to it 2 points into this set.
Yeah, now with only 1 challenge this season, coaches hold it a little tighter to their chest than they did before.
Naughty Valentine Anderson, what a serve that was. Tight to the sideline. Pusic did very well to handle it. And this time it looks like Orlando will challenge touch.
Orlando is challenging block touch.
And that is our up official, Michelle Prater, confirming.
That was a beautiful swing. That was exactly what she was going for. She was going for just the top of the fingertips. Chimay contacted it high. She didn't let that ball drop at all. It just reaches so high to contact it, hitting it at its peak. You're looking for a wiggle of a finger, if a finger bends back at all. That's a tough one.
We've got a multitude of camera angles for our MLV replay system. Our down official, Brianna Spain, looking through all of them, trying to come away with the most concise, most precise look. First challenge here of the evening for either team. And it's all the same tech that you see at high-level international volleyball. You know, the emphasis to get the call right. And they can zoom it in and look even closer if they need to. I also think it's worth mentioning, Madison, you can challenge a block touch. You cannot challenge a back row touch anymore.
Yep, and that's a new addendum to the rules from last season.
After review, there is a block touch. Orlando retains their challenge.
And there you see why this replay system is just so darn cool.
Great call from the officials.
Great challenge by the Valkyries from down 1-3 to knot it up 2-2. Nia Chimay is set to serve. Targets Maldonado Diaz. Boy, Pusic just crashed right into the campfire. And speaking of the campfire, that is exactly what Charity Looper found.
Pusic, she's a quiet leader. She's a steady presence. She extends so many rallies for this team. What I love about that attack from Charity Looper is she didn't drop her elbow. Sometimes you can read when an attacker is going to go off speed and hit to that donut hole area, but no, she came in strong. She kept her elbow nice and high, and she disguised that beautifully.
Service error by Chimay. So we're knotted up at 3. And sometimes, Madison, they're just simply contagious.
They really are. Serving at this level is just right in between the ears. It's 100% mental.
Orlando back in front 4-3. I don't think they led it all in that first set, Madison. If they did, it was extremely early.
No, you're right. It felt like they were fighting from behind throughout the entirety of the set, trying to claw their way back into it.
And now they have a 2-point lead. Orlando targeting the sideline. Collier able to pass it, and Maldonado Diaz able to thread the sideline for the kill.
Charity Looper targeting Mimi Collier, maybe trying to take out the outside, make it harder for Valentine Anderson to get that set all the way over to the other pin, but Maldonado Diaz there showing a whole lot of range down the line.
Great pass by Orlando. Better block by Van Buskirk.
We've seen 2 of those from Van Buskirk, just fronting Charity Looper right on the ball. Look at her eyes, just tracking it all the way in, and then it's the little dive of the hands into that seam, reading the shoulders so well of Charity Looper.
Oh, misconnection. Champu was trying to establish Kaz Brown off 1 foot, but that was set too wide for Kaz.
And that's a rare one. They are usually locked and loaded when it comes to that. That pass a little low, so Champu had to set that kind of on the ground. That's a rare misconnection for her and Kaz.
This time she goes to the pin. Schwann off hands, played up by Valentine Anderson. Cox will go off speed, off the out of system. Orlando will take an out of system look. D-ball to Chimay. Schwann picked up by Hort. Cox just has to off speed it there. Schwann, same story, still up. What a swing by Sofia Maldonado Diaz. Able to tool that block right at the end of the rally. Crowd got excited. I think they thought it was a stuff block.
And it almost did look like it, but you see Kaz Brown just fading a little bit, just shifting on her block, not totally set and pressed over the net at the right time. Maldonado Diaz just found in between her hands in the net.
Good pass there by Pusic. And Brown this time will not be denied off of the gap. Point Orlando. And they're back within 1.
Kaz Brown has been so solid offensively, just her past couple of matches. 9 kills, 10 kills, 7, 9, and 9. So she is such an offensive presence up there at the net. Really good on the gap set as well. Champu likes to move her around, which stresses the block.
And again, worth mentioning, she hit 300 or higher in 4 out of those 5. Schwann. Boy, Van Buskirk just nifty, an off-speed shot, and she has been so impressive.
The connection is so good between Valentine Anderson and Van Buskirk. They've really hit their stride in this season. Van Buskirk not letting that ball drop at all. Beautiful gap set. Valentine Anderson got it right to her shoulder. And then really good eye work by Van Buskirk to see the open area of the court.
You got one national teamer feeding another national teamer. The Puerto Rican national teamer in Valentine Anderson and the Canadian national in Van Buskirk. Chimay, oh, what a swing.
That's something that Coach Amy Pauley wants going at all times, is that D-ball, that set for the right sider when she's in the back row. Brittany Abercrombie was lethal at that attack, so they really need that from Nia Chimay, and that was a good high contact and solid swing.
3rd kill for Chimay. And that's in. Ace serve.
drop that in like a dime. That was beautiful. Just floating nice and high. Looks like it's going to go out and then just drops at the last second. Beautiful serve.
And I mentioned national teamers. Oh, yeah, how about Champu, the captain of the Thai national team? Oh, behind the back, Valentine Anderson. Pusic picks it up beautifully. Collier, oh my goodness. Just a barrage of heat in that arm. So Pusic was able to crash in and pick up that setter dump. And then Collier says, that's nice. Try handling this.
Talk about stressing the block. Valentine Anderson is an offensive weapon herself, and then you have Lane Van Buskirk going behind the setter in a slide, and that opens up Mimi Collier for the swing.
Service error. Boy, Dallas has got to rein those in here, Madison.
I completely agree. Just a few too many. They want to serve aggressively, though, because coach said they need to take out their middles, and they do that from the service line, but just too many errors.
Tight. Opportunity here. Chimay gets. Collier off hands, played up by Schwann. Right to Champu. But Collier defensively just too good at the net.
It's the discipline with the hands, nice and strong wrists. She's not going up high and just kind of throwing her hands wherever she wants. No, she's reaching and she's pressing, and that block was a total stuff. There was no covering that.
Looper into the cross court. Second effort. Off hands and down. Dallas doesn't think it was down, and I think they're going to challenge.
Dallas is challenging for touch.
Now, Madison, I will be interested to see upon this review if Dallas is right, if we get a replay of the point. I would think that would be the decision.
I would think that you're right. Oh, it's hard from that angle. Both Cox and Valentine Anderson laying out for that, trying to get the pancake. You see Cox scream, it's up. We'll see if she's right.
And, you know, from those two angles that we looked at, right, it's tough to see because in the one side, it looked like Nadi Valentine Anderson's head covered where the ball came down. On that other angle, on the flip side, it looked like Kaylee Cox kind of covered that spot. So you don't really get a good look at the ball from either one, and that's why it's important that we've got 22 different angles to look at.
Absolutely.
How about this one?
Oh, yep, that looks up to me. Worth noting, Valentine Anderson is one tied for first in the league in assists per set, fantastic, and fourth in total digs.
I knew you were going there.
194 coming into this match. She only needs 6 to get 200. Fourth in the league in digs as a setter.
You know, I had it in my mind that I was going to ask you if she's the best defensive setter in this league. I don't even think it's a question, Madison.
And the stats don't lie. I mean, she really has done a phenomenal job. She's so scrappy.
Yes.
So scrappy.
Yes.
She actually told me in an interview a couple weeks ago that she makes it her mission to be the best player on the court. That doesn't mean setter. That also means defensively she wants to be the best defender on the court as well. So she really holds herself to that standard.
You see some of the communication going on between our up referee, Michelle Prater, and our down referee, Brianna Spain. So they are walking their way through the angles, talking their way through the initial decision, which again was that the ball was down and that the point belongs to Orlando. As it stands, we're tied at 10. And I think, Madison, you and I came to the agreement that because Dallas did bat the ball over, then it was in that time frame that it was blown dead and given to Orlando. That this isn't going to be one of those things where they say, okay, Dallas wins the challenge, they win the point. It would be the rally coulda, woulda, shoulda continued, and we're going to do a replay.
And we've seen a few replays throughout this season. I think this is definitely a situation where we would see another one.
After review, the play is inconclusive. Dallas will retain their challenge.
And that's a unique one. It is a possibility.
Yeah.
Each team's going to send one of their leaders, call them captains if you want to. Courtney Schwann, Nadia Valentin Anderson making their way to Michelle Prater. But that was something that we were talked through before the season began by some of the league leadership, that there is a chance that, we can't see definitively what happened, and we can't necessarily overturn the call on the floor, but we can not dock that team their challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yep, both court captains probably getting that explanation. You see Coach Amy Polly saying, who gets that point?
They didn't announce that we're replaying the point, so it would have to be Orlando that wins the point. It's just that Dallas will not lose their challenge. And there you see, I think Amy Polly got that explanation right about the same time we were walking you guys through it at home. You don't see it often, but kudos to our officiating crew for walking through all the angles and possibilities. Looper into the cross court and down. And Madison, it's not just Dallas that likes to establish the cross court with their offense. Orlando certainly likes to do it too.
And all that was set up because of the aggression behind the service line. That gives the Valkyries a chance to make a play in transition. Nice high swing by Cherry Looper. We've seen a lot of range from her in the past couple of matches.
11-10 Orlando. Foster will serve. And guess who's got an ace? And when she records them, they typically come in bunches. Madison, I'm going to throw some numbers at you for size, as it looks like Dallas is going to call a timeout, and not a bad one. I mentioned that they usually come in bunches, right? Mm-hmm. Natalie Foster coming into today, when you include the postseason, had played in 45 career matches. We'll take a wild guess how many she recorded an ace in.
38?
37, close.
Oh!
Price is Right logic, you're over, you lose. But that's a really good guess.
Thank you, thank you.
37.
Wow.
You want to take a guess how many of those 37 she had 3 or more?
8?
19.
Oh. So yeah, talk about bunches. She just heats up. It's such a difficult serve to pass because it's dipping and diving so much from the point that it contacts her hand to the time that it gets back to the passers. You just have to be tracking it all the way into your platform, but with how much it's floating and it's moving, it is so difficult to, 1, get your platform there, and then 2, angle your platform to get a good pass.
We'll see that serve again. Handled a little better there that time by Murr, and Dallas does clip the end line. That puts an end to the service of Foster. That was another really good one.
Whenever you get Foster off the service line, you take a sigh of relief. Mimi Collier there had about a foot of space down the line. The block set up more in the angle, so Mimi Collier cross-body swing had it wide open.
We'll send Nadia Valentin Anderson back to serve. Boy, Kaz Brown is working so hard in the middle to pull a blocker. Looper. Laid up by Valentin Anderson. And Collier looking down the line will miss it.
Collier found success down the line. One play earlier, but they are just over-rotating. The block was more shifted towards the line, so she felt like she had to really go for it, really follow through, and just erred too wide.
This time Collier jammed up on serve, receive. Champu lays out defensively. Out of system coming for Looper, off hands, and that'll be another kill for Charity.
Kaylee Cox right now struggling to heat up. The Valkyries are doing a really good job at slowing her down. She only has 2 kills, 2 errors on 7 attempts. So the Valkyries, good defense, good plays in transition to slow her down and then get the point.
Feels like they're also giving her a lot to think about on the block, too.
They're there and they are close. Kaz is doing a lot of work moving laterally.
Horde. Here's Looper again. Better block that time. Horde able to get there inside the angle and turn it down.
When I talk about disciplined hands, your hands have to be angled into the court. So Kaylee Cox set that up in the right position, and both her and Horde had their palms back pointing towards area 6, shoving that ball down into the court.
14-12, Orlando. Collier serves. Pin to pin, Looper off speed, picked up by Schwann. Second effort for Charity, and that'll find the floor. Charity Looper is pacing Orlando, and she's doing it well. They lead by 3.
And she's doing so much work in between the times that she touches the ball. And in a way, those are some of the most important because she's setting herself up for success. So when I say that, I mean she's transitioning off the net every single rally, getting her full approach in front of her. She's doing a lot of work getting off the net right now.
4 of her 5 kills have come in this set. Now Looper serves. Maldonado Diaz picked up by guess who? This time off the block and out. Second effort for Maldonado Diaz, good for the kill. And Sophia, who paced Dallas in that first set, is back on the board. 9 kills for the match, hitting .500, number 2 in white. Courtney Schwann, dug by Hort. Valentine Anderson goes pin to pin. Maldonado Diaz has it swatted back. And that will be another kill for Sophia, into double figures now.
That 4-4 is beautiful. You have to get on top of it. Look at that set from Valentine Anderson. Her body facing the net, dropping her left shoulder, pushing it all the way out to Maldonado Diaz. It's a beautiful 4-4. In order to attack that ball, you've got to get on top of it at that angle, and she did so really well.
Back within 1 of Orlando. Schwann goes 4-4 herself. That misses the sideline, and the winner of this next point will send us to the technical timeout.
Looked like Schwann was a little rushed there. Couldn't totally get on top of the ball. Didn't have enough time to get on top of it and snap.
15 all. Horde will serve again. Pusic in on first contact. Chimay this time running off the bick. Maldonado Diaz picked up beautifully by Looper. And the D-ball is roofed. Maldonado Diaz and then Buzzkirk with the rejection, and Dallas leads by 1, approaching the technical timeout. One-point lead for Dallas in set 2, trying to win the first 2 sets on the road in Orlando. A complete reversal of the script that played out on January 25th when they made their first trip here this season. Orlando won the first 2 before the Pulse were able to reverse sweep the Valkyries. 16-15, set 2. And boy, Dallas is finding some real success on the pin. Yes, you expect it offensively, but boy, Sophia Maldonado Diaz is having her way on the block as well. Especially locking down that right side area of the court for the Valkyries. That press over the net, almost like a full body crunch, just getting your arms all the way over. She does that really well. Boy, Orlando needed that service error. Just gives them a break of rotation. Natalie Foster will check in to work the front row. Emmy Klicko will sub in. And she will serve as Orlando's DS. In this rotation, watch out for Charity Looper in the back row. Let's see if they try to work her in. That is long. Kaz Brown will come back in. Theodora Pusic onto the floor. Excuse me, she will sub in for Brown. Kaylee Cox serves. Schwann. Played up by Cox. Maldonado Diaz. Nice play there by Looper defensively. Tight. And that point will go to Orlando.
Really good floor defense by Charity Looper throughout that rally. Coach Amy Pauley said that's one of the reasons why she...
Treat to watch Courtney Schwann swing, and it is so nice to see her doing it so much more often.
You see the block is up, but Van Buskirk kind of turning her hands, not totally set and pressed, almost on her way down. And Courtney Schwann just sensing that, drove it through the block.
Collier. Boy, that's a lot of heat coming in from the back row, isn't it?
I would love the percentage of kills that Collier gets in the back row as opposed to when she's in the front row. They run her often from the back row. She's such a solid outlet, especially when Valentine Anderson is in the front row. They utilize her a lot.
1 point lead for Dallas. And now we're tied.
It's 4 errors in this set, service errors for Dallas. I believe that'll be 10 total for the Pulse.
Winner of this next point is first to the red zone. Maldonado Diaz, 1 and up there by Shampoo. Looper off hands and down. Charity Looper is feeling some kind of way here in the second.
The hang time by Charity Looper is phenomenal. She flies. That set is inside. So when that set's inside, you have to get your feet to the ball. She got her feet to the ball and she hung in the air to attack.
Another serve for Schwann. Collier, what a stab by Pusic. And there will be a whistle at the net, point Pulse. So that takes away what was a wonderful play. Oh.
One arm stab, beautiful, good up by Pusic.
Van Buskirk will serve. Pass is on the money. Looper goes off speed. Cox lays out. Collier into the cross court. That will grab hands. Point Pulse.
I will say, even though the Pulse got that point, the Valkyries passing really well. 53% good or positive. Same with the Pulse. We've seen a lot of good passes, both teams in control. And Mimi Collier, nice high swing. Coach said what they're working on with her and what they have been all season is the decision making. She said she can hit high line, deep cross, sharp cross, but helping her with the decisions of when to hit what is what they've been doubling down on her with.
Madison, to follow that up, if you're Orlando, you mentioned what Dallas was talking about in regards to Mimi Collier and her range. We've seen what Sofia Maldonado Diaz can do. Amy Pauley told us, you know, the big objective is to try to contain those outsides as best you can, beat them with everybody else with the depth on the roster, right? How do you contain those two outsides? Because so far they've got 19 of Dallas's 26 kills.
Well, it's a question not a lot of teams have figured out so far because they've been on a tear, top 1 and 2 in the league in kills per set. Really what it takes is discipline, waiting, releasing big, fast, and knowing the game plan, studying, watching film like the Valkyries do, knowing their tendencies. Easier said than done though, for sure.
And we'll see if Orlando can crack the code here in the red zone. Pulse lead it by 1, 21-20. Pass is tight, and Foster puts down the kill. Boy, Shampoo gave her middle enough room to swing freely.
One hand too, Shampoo is not just good, she is absolutely elite, controlling her body, keeping it nice and tight, one-on-one situation. Natalie Foster not swinging into the block, dropping that thumb and swinging away.
Foster serves, and that is deep.
It's definitely not one that you like to see in the red zone, but they do give Natalie Foster the green light.
Valentine Anderson will take her turn. Nice pass by Schwann. Looper, what a stab by Valentine Anderson. Cox picked up by Jumpo. Look at the setters. Collier turned back. That's still out. That's out. What a gritty rally. And both setters showing how they can cover the floor.
Defense wins games, and both of these setters are playing phenomenally. Good coverages on both sides. Really good floor defense, net defense. They're doing a good job at slowing down the opposing attackers on both sides. But there, Collier underneath the ball, not able to get on top of it.
Dallas is challenging a mid-rally floor touch.
Well, now this is going to be interesting, Madison. Because Dallas wasn't docked the challenge on a previous floor touch call against them, they are using it here, and they will lose it.
Wow.
After review, there was no floor touch. Dallas loses their challenge.
That's just an incredible
Look
play.
at that, the fingers just getting underneath it. And we talked about Valentine Anderson's defense. Shampoo has been on a defensive tear as of late. 20 plus 2 matches ago, followed that up really solidly, and right there, that was big time.
Dub sub in for Orlando. Hannah Pukis will serve. Lindsay Vanderweide into the front row. Collier on the pass. Now back to work offensively. Pusic with one hand keeps it going, but Orlando can't get it to the net, much less over. And point goes to the Pulse. What a match.
We knew it would be tight. What really impresses me about Mimi Collier is that she's just a rookie. She just finished her career at Wisconsin, and the transition has been seamless. She has risen to this level of the pros so quickly.
It's been an offensive onslaught while she's hitting nearly 300 no less as a pin attacker. Good ball there by Pusic. Kaz Brown off the gap. And that is down. Boy, Dallas was able to win the late points in set 1 when Orlando made a push. And so far in set 2, they are following that same script. Set points coming up, and Orlando takes the timeout.
And that's a perfect example. Those big rips, when it's chaotic, when it's an out-of-system situation, you've got Mimi Collier, you've got Maldonado Diaz just rising to the occasion and driving through the ball. That was a high set, and she contacted it high and was still very aggressive.
Orlando with some work to do to knot this up at the intermission. And boy, how much of a difference a couple of points here make at the end of this set. Down 0-2, tied 1-1, just a world of difference. And if you're Dallas on the road, one away from making it that 2-0 advantage that you would so desperately desire. Collier serves set point, and it's a service error. Sometimes the timeout alone gets you one.
And sometimes that's why the coaches call the timeout, to ice the server. Now Charity Looper back to serve. They need an aggressive serve, but obviously you got to keep it in.
Still set point for Dallas. Collier on the pass. Maldonado Diaz had it tipped back. What a read.
And that's exactly what it was. It was a beautiful read. Kaz Brown identifying the open hand, the dropping of the shoulder, reading the tip, hanging in the air, delaying just a little bit, and then shoving that back to the floor.
We will go beyond 25 here in the second set. That's the caveat. First to 25 is nice, but you got to win it by 2. And we have seen some extended sets in the MLV this season.
I can't exactly remember the stat, but it was like 75% of games have gone to 4 or more. It's been so competitive, back and forth. So much fun. And like I said before, only 4 teams make it to the playoffs. This win is imperative. This win is so important.
And you see how much effort is being poured out on both sides of the net. That's another look at the pancake by Shampoo. It ended up being challenged, and then upon the closer angle, we just had more reason to admire it.
It's a great view.
Winner of this point has set point. Looper serves again. Maldonado Diaz is roofed. Look at that Orlando block flex.
Give that block assist to Shampoo, setting that block up in the perfect location. Kaz Brown putting in work, moving so quickly laterally, pressing over the net and down. Defense wins games. I'll say it over and over and over again.
Malaya Jones will check in on the opposite for Kaylee Cox. Set point, Orlando. Good pass. What a stab. Out of system for Swan. And Maldonado Diaz gets to play spoiler. We're tied at 25.
Location, location, location. That was the perfect location, right into the seam, right in between two blockers and two defenders. Valentine Anderson does a really good job at running the offense from that 3-meter line. She put in a lot of work to get that ball all the way out to Maldonado Diaz, who is truly such an outlet for this team.
Well, another set. And there's a roof coming right back at Orlando. Maldonado Diaz and Van Buskirk.
In this set alone, the Dallas Pulse, 6 blocks, Orlando Valkyries, 2. There's been some really solid stuff blocks here.
Yeah, those 2 for Orlando have come in the last handful. Opportunity here for Dallas, and that is wide. On and on we go.
Coach Windsor did tell us, serving-wise, they were going to go zones 1-to-1. They were going to try to push the Valkyries 1-to-1. There we saw 5-to-5, so we see a lot of cross-court serving deep.
Kaz Brown serves. Maldonado Diaz, off hands, played up by Charity Looper. Schwann roofed. Kaylee Cox and Van Buskirk.
And watch the hands, the discipline, the press over the net. Van Buskirk was there with a ton of time. Because that pass was off the net, she released a little bit early, knowing that that middle wasn't going to get set. That's something the Pulse wanted to do. Neutralize the middles. Don't let the Valkyries set the middle.
Another set point for Dallas. Schwann, off speed over the block. Collier, picked up by Chimay, right on target to Shampoo. Maldonado Diaz tips it to the Terraflex, and Dallas finds a way late to win it 28-26.
7 kills in that second set, and beautiful, so crafty, just straight down where no one was. Courtney Schwann on her heels a little bit, and Maldonado Diaz took advantage.
Madison, just to sort of wrap up these first 2 sets, high quality volleyball both directions, but Dallas has just been too good late.
They've been really good in the red zone, just finishing, serving aggressively, finishing the ball in transition. Really good efficiency overall by them.
All right, intermission coming your way. And Madison, you're going to be involved in it. Can't wait to see it. We'll be right back.
Every match is a new opportunity. Every win brings you one step closer to becoming a champion. This is Major League Volleyball, where the sport's top stars take the court to compete for greatness. Keep watching.
The 2026 MLV All-Star Match is coming to Orlando. The brightest stars in Major League Volleyball will compete in Edition Financial Arena Saturday, March 28th, live on CBS. Tickets available now at provolleyball.com.
When you were a little girl growing up in Austin, Texas, did you ever imagine one day I'm going to be in the Kansas Hall of Fame and playing on the Dallas Pulse during their first inaugural season, just hours away from your family?
I didn't even really know that volleyball was an option for me until like late into high school as I started getting recruited. Yeah, so yeah, no, absolutely not to any of that, no.
From your favorite athletes to your favorite music, listen to everything you love and so much more with the free iHeartRadio app. From live play-by-play to your favorite game day anthems and the biggest sports podcasts in the world, the iHeartRadio app lets you take it all with you and stay connected to your favorite team wherever you go. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Hey Orlando, it's game time. Your women's pro volleyball champions, the Orlando Valkyries, are back and ready to win. Enjoy the night out and feel the excitement of big plays, incredible athletes, and non-stop action. Every rally brings the crowd to its feet. Every point is a moment to cheer together. This is world-class volleyball, live at Edition Financial Arena. Don't just watch the game, be part of the celebration. Get your tickets now at orlandovalkyries.com.
Teams and international events, our community continues to lead the way in creating opportunities for girls and women to compete, lead, and succeed. But progress in women's sports doesn't happen by accident. It happens because of leaders, organizations, and advocates who believe that women belong on the biggest stages in sports and who work every single day to make that belief a reality. Tonight, the Orlando Valkyries are proud to recognize 16 organizations across Central Florida who are making a meaningful impact and advancing opportunities for women in sports. Each of these honorees have helped open doors, build programs, elevate athletes, and create pathways for the next generation of women to play, coach, lead, and thrive in sports. This music is perfect for this moment. To show our appreciation, we will be presenting each organization with a signed Orlando Valkyries jersey. Now, please join me in welcoming 3 leaders from the Orlando Valkyries who will help present these jerseys tonight. Owner David Foreman, Team President Eric Nielsen, and Vice President of Business Operations, Sarah Ratzliff. Yeah. Together, they will recognize the following organizations and individuals who are helping move women's sports forward in Central Florida. All right, first up, Greater Orlando Sports Commission. Orlando Pride and Orlando City Soccer. Orlando Magic. Advent Health. ESPN Wide World of Sports. WISE, Greater Orlando. Track Shack. United States Tennis Association. YMCA of Central Florida. Special Olympics Florida. University of Central Florida Athletics and Women's Volleyball. University of Florida Women's Volleyball. Rollins College Athletics and Women's Volleyball. Jamie Say, WKMG News 6. Farah Parrott, Telemundo. Kristen Lago, Wesh 2 News. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Orlando Valkyries, the reason we are all here tonight, a team paving the way for women's professional volleyball. These organizations and individuals represent the strength, leadership, and collaboration that make Orlando one of the best sports communities in the country. They are coaches, mentors, storytellers, advocates, and champions for women and girls across Central Florida. So, Valkyries fans, please join us in celebrating their impact. Let's give all our honorees a huge round of applause.
Hey Orlando, it's game time. Your women's pro volleyball champions, the Orlando Valkyries, are back and ready to win. Enjoy the night out and feel the excitement of big plays, incredible athletes, and non-stop action. Every rally brings the crowd to its feet. Every point is a moment to cheer together. This is world-class volleyball, live at Edition Financial Arena. Don't just watch the game, be part of the celebration. Get your tickets now at orlandovalkyries.com.
Dallas, a city pulsing with electricity, alive with vibrant nightlife, bold art, and flavors from every corner of the world. And now, home to the unstoppable force of women's Major League Volleyball. Inspired by the heartbeat of the city and the tempo of the game, Dallas welcomes its newest powerhouse to the stage, the Dallas Pulse.
Back row attack and kill. Leah Edmond calls. Dumped over by Kuaniga.
Diaz, Sophia mounted on Diaz, having an evening.
And she's got a whip of an arm. Scramble from Venegas. Scott got to it somehow. PBR scores. And what a set by Carlson.
It's not just a sport, it's a calling. At Spalding, we've spent years crafting high-quality equipment that honors that passion. As the official net system supplier to Major League Volleyball, we're proud to support the game at its highest level, where precision, durability, and performance matter most. Because when you give your all, you deserve equipment that does too. Spalding Volleyball, trusted by generations, built for champions.
Welcome back to Orlando as we get set for set number 3 between the number 2 team in the MLV, the Dallas Pulse, and the Orlando Valkyries, the reigning league champions. Sean Davison, the All-American at Florida State, Madison Fitzpatrick, on hand with our entire crew as we hit the midway point of this 2026 season, and it is the Pulse with a 2-0 lead. Dallas back on the right-hand side of your screen, Orlando on the left. And Madison, consider a message sent Orlando straight to the middle early, and Natalie Foster with a kill.
Natalie Foster right now in this match, 4 for 5. Really good efficiency from her, and they've run her a lot in serve receive, not as much in transition.
Just missing the end line there. It's been several errors for Natalie Foster, a couple of them really competitive as she heads back to the bench. You mentioned it earlier, Madison, a player like that who now has 98 aces in her MLV career is always going to get the green light. Nati Valentine Anderson serves. Looper is roofed. Boy, Dallas has really done a nice job of manning the net. They come in with 2.5 blocks per set, second best in the league, and they have only improved upon that.
Yeah, they're beating that right now. Total 10 blocks throughout those first 2 sets. They just got their 10th in this one.
2-1 pulse. Good pass there by Pusic. And Orlando's first 2 points of this third set have come out of the middle.
And the Valkyries are running. Like I said, when they get a 3 pass, Shampoo, she takes that upon herself. Coach Pauly said Shampoo emphasizes that in her game, setting the middle inside out.
Collier. Well, no surprises there. Dallas is going to feed Collier and Maldonado Diaz. Stop them if you can, and the story so far this season has been just about everybody can.
And a little bit of a height disparity between Mimi Collier, and Shampoo. Just over the top, Mimi Collier can go over Shampoo.
That is just long, a tight serve. Boy, we've seen a few of them. How about the service pressure each of these teams is generating?
And you have to, at this level, you have to set yourself up to make a good play defensively, and so you're trying to minimize the opposing team's offense. Both of these offenses are so nuanced, so you're doing everything you can.
Good pass by Collier. Horde out of the middle. And Caitlin Horde, she doesn't put a lot of balls down, but again, for Dallas, as long as she's efficient with the opportunities she gets, that's what matters.
I have that written in my notes. With the attempts that she gets set, she is extremely efficient.
First kill on 3 swings for Horde. Opportunity here for Orlando. Boy, look how hard Kaz Brown is working in transition. Cox down the line, missed it. No touch by the Valkyries. Point Orlando.
Coach Amy Pauly said, yes, of course, we want to hold Collier and Maldonado Diaz, and we want to kind of stifle them a little bit, but they're also emphasizing slowing down other attackers. They've done so with Kaylee Cox.
And Kaylee Cox was at the center of Dallas's reverse sweep comeback back on January 25th. She got going, and Dallas found a way late. Look at Orlando running the middle.
And a lot of the times with middles, you see them cut the ball off quickly and go sharp. They're hitting down a lot of the times, but Natalie Foster is difficult to dig because she can have a nice long stroke, good follow through to the deep corners.
Pass is tight. Van Buskirk just has to off-speed it over. And there's that block again.
One of the reasons why Dallas is second in the league, 9-5 overall, is because, yes, they're leading the league in overall efficiency. Transition efficiency is really good. Same with side-out efficiency. But they're also second in blocks per set. So defensively, they're at the top of the league as well.
I believe that'll be block number 4 for Lane Van Buskirk. Schwann threads it through, played by Cox. There's Orlando's block. Ball still up, though. Van Buskirk. What a quick arm swing there out of the middle for number 7.
Talk about forcing the middle. Valentine Anderson working from that 3-meter line, going with the gap set. Van Buskirk loves that little cross-body tip straight down.
5 kills on 7 swings for Lane. And Natalie Foster just beat the block of Van Buskirk inside the block and down for number 13 in blue.
And sometimes that happens when you're stressing to get there because it's a fast set. You're not going to be set and pressed over the net. If there's some space in between your arms and the net, the ball's able to sneak through it.
Well, Lindsay Vanderweide is in there on the right side for Orlando here in this third set. Collier off the pick, that is down, and that is money.
Coach Windsor did say every opportunity we get in a situation in transition, we want to take the setter out. We want to force them to run the pin. So there you see Collier going for the setter, Shampoo, who's in the back row.
Schwann off the right in this rotation. Out of system coming for it. Dug by Murr. Collier into the cross court and down.
Courtney Schwann playing opposite there. And Lindsay Vanderweide over there on the outside. Coach Amy Pauley moves him around, trying to get something going. But really good defensive plays by Murr, back to back with the pancake and then the beautiful 3 pass.
Boy, and to ace Courtney Schwann, that says something.
Courtney Schwann with one of the cleanest touches in the league. Charity Looper down, it looks like.
And this is something that Orlando can ill afford. The Valkyries have not been healthy for practically at all this season.
You've got Hannah Maddox out, Brittany Abercrombie. Kaz was out for a little bit. She's back now, same with Shampoo. You're right, this is something they cannot afford.
We'll take another look.
Yeah, just fell on that knee, pursuing the ball.
The team medical staff and Amy Pauley all tending. It's one of the more dynamic scorers in the league.
Back on the court and smiling. The Valkyries love to see that.
Well, that bodes well. Maldonado Diaz will serve, up by 3. And that is long. Boy, these misses, there have been quite a few that have been just long. They have been awfully competitive.
And Dallas is following their game plan as far as placement of the serve is concerned, going from that area 1.
Courtney Schwann will serve. Maldonado Diaz. Boy, the hang time on that pick. Collier off hands. Orlando will be out of system. Foster off speed. And somebody was in the net, it looked like, maybe. No, they're going to call 4 contacts.
Yeah, that set just a little too low. Shampoo to Natalie Foster. Natalie couldn't get on top of the ball, tried to tip it, and we're going to get a challenge.
I don't think Orlando thought that there were 4 contacts. We'll see.
Orlando is challenging block touch.
And if you're Amy Pauley at this point, you got to do it. You get 1 challenge per set. You drop the first 2 sets. And Dallas has come out hot in set 3.
This is a good angle. Ooh. Maybe watch Van Buskirk's right hand right there. If it is a touch, it is a soft one. Very narrow margins here.
After review, there is a block touch. Replay.
And I think that replay is important, right? Because that rally could have continued.
It's a great view of it. Yep, right hand of Van Buskirk, diving those hands into the seam.
So take the point away from Dallas. You're not going to give it to Orlando. The 3-point lead is down to 2 as Schwann drops it in short. Maldonado Diaz into the net.
A rare miss by Maldonado Diaz, who's been electric tonight. 14 kills. That's her 3rd error, hitting above 300, so a rare miss by her. Good pass by Kaylee Cox. We see the Valkyries trying to mix in some short serves, trying to disrupt some routes over here on Dallas' side.
Another serve opportunity for Schwann. Targeting Cox. Collier. Boy, what a swing. She can put so much pop.
She's so physical.
Yes.
And the transition, like I said, from college to the pros has been seamless because of that physicality, the range, the versatility in which she attacks with. It's been so impressive to watch her just come into this league and lead.
Lane Van Buskirk will serve, and she targets Pusic. Van der Weide, bodied by Van Buskirk, a collision between Horde and Nadi Valentine Anderson. We play on. Nice stab by Cox. Collier off hands. That is picked up. Out of system for Van der Weide. Not a bad idea going to the back corner. Covered well, though, by Maldonado Diaz. Same story by Schwann. Collier cuts it sharp and will find the sideline.
These 6 rotation outsides playing middle back right now are putting in so much work. Courtney Schwann and Maldonado Diaz playing incredible. And then we see the range from Mimi Collier. That 4-4 she hits with a ton of efficiency. That's more of a high risk, high rewards attack, because if you're not on top of the ball, if you're a little bit underneath it, you're gonna error wide. But no, she gets on it quick. She gets her feet to the ball and she can snap.
What is it about Collier that impresses you most? The physicality, the efficiency, or the range?
The load that she's able to carry at such a young age. She gets a ton of sets inside out in transition. She gets the jump balls, the in-system balls, the out-of-system balls, and the load that she can carry so confidently is so impressive.
How about Natalie Foster? She's had a very nice night offensively. Can she get the serve going in set 3? Targeting Cox on top of the net, and Valentine Anderson tried to pop it over. Call's going to go to Orlando.
We see time and time again how valuable that serve is, causing the pass to be tight. Valentine Anderson really going for it there, just in the net.
Lead down to 1. Targeting Murr this time. Collier into the cross court. Schwann there to cover. Free ball opportunity, though, for Dallas. Maldonado Diaz swinging off what looked like a D ball. Puts it to the Terraflex.
Coach Windsor talked very highly of moving around their back row attack. So whether it be the D ball or moving Maldonado Diaz a little bit inside, we call that a C. And what that does is it stresses the block. The block is used to blocking the D ball. They see it with all the teams. But Coach Windsor is trying to set the A more, the C more. And with how athletic Maldonado Diaz is, you can set her on that C ball and she can score.
She just proved it right there. Kaz Brown out of the middle. Collier, oh my goodness.
The dig to transition game for the Pulse is really good. Kylie Murr, we don't talk about her enough. She's putting in a ton of work, putting herself in good positions. And then Valentine Anderson, her speed is very imperative for this team because she can get to that ball, provide the nice set. And then Mimi Collier is a queen at finishing.
3-point lead for Dallas. Looper, dug up and over. She'll pull it back out. Brown off that back one, able to record the kill.
Kaz and Shampoo don't just run that slide when it's easy during side out. No, they run it in transition, which means Kaz is putting in so much work to go from the middle, behind the setter, then to get back to block. She is very active and available constantly.
2-point lead for Dallas. Cox is roofed. Charity Looper skying for the rejection.
One-on-one situation, incredible read by Looper. It's Looper versus Cox, and Looper reads that cross-body swing and dives those arms into the angle.
Collier. And Schwann can't track it down. Boy, Collier's work off serve, receive, and then putting her hard hat on and going right back after with the net has just been so incredibly impressive.
15 kills, hitting 355. Her and Maldonado Diaz both with 15 kills, hitting above 300. 16, my stats just updated, 375.
Jean-Pou thought about taking it over herself. An opportunity here for Dallas. Maldonado Diaz is roofed. Orlando is starting to gain some traction in their block.
That's how you shut down the 4-4. It's the inside hand of Kaz Brown, reading that 4-4, diving that left hand into that angle. So well done, so disciplined, because Maldonado Diaz was going in to punish that ball.
Looper serves. It's a service error. Dallas led at the technical timeout in set 1 and in set 2. They're a point away from doing so again in set 3. It'll be Horde to serve. Schwann will extend the proceedings. A swing through the seam for Courtney Schwann.
A little bit of gap in the block there. Van Buskirk not there to close. Courtney Schwann took advantage.
Lead back down to 1. And Dallas will take that lead to the technical timeout. It's up to 2 off the service error. 16-14, the Pulse trying to perhaps pull the sweep on the road in Orlando. Back here in Orlando, the Pulse on the road, leading it by 2. Sean Davison, Madison Fitzpatrick, our entire crew on hand. Dallas trying to put this match away. Boy, they have done what they do incredibly well. You know, you watch film on them, and you know it's going to the pin, and you just can't seem to see anybody stop it. It's just remarkable to watch in person. Maldonado Diaz, what a dig there by Pusic. And there's Sofia Maldonado Diaz on the second effort. And there's some of that range that she possesses.
And that's smart. She got dig in that cross court, so then she gets another opportunity. She drops that pinky, she drives it down the line. The block was set up inside, so that line was open for her to score.
Sofia Maldonado Diaz, the Week 6 Player of the Week. And of course, with this being Dallas's first ever season, the first ever MLV Player of the Week in Pulse franchise history, has recorded as many as 30 kills. That was against Omaha the week that she was the top player in the league. That's an attack error by Natalie Foster. And if you're Orlando, you got to be careful here. You can't let that deficit grow much larger if you want realistically to make your road back. And a timeout for Amy Polley, that is hardly surprising.
And this situation right here kind of makes me think of something that Coach Amy Polley said during serve and pass. She said to her team, all right, Dallas Pulse, fast offense, big arms, and then she said, control our side of the net. So in this situation, controlling your side of the net means, okay, thinking in your head, they're gonna get their kill, good for them, but now we need to come back and we need to get a kill as well. We need to limit our errors. And that error, I think that's set just a little bit too low, but if you're gonna get back in it through the Valkyries, controlling your side of the net is key, and that means playing cleanly.
Where do you go to get that kill? They had success in the middle early. They tried to go back to it, and I understand the idea. Go to the middle, try to open up those pins, get some looks out there, maybe 1v1, right? But where do you go here down 4 points?
I think if you get a good pass and you're on the net, you go to Natalie Foster. She's been pretty efficient tonight.
Well, as you described it, it's picked up, though, by Murr. Pusic keeps the rally alive. And Maldonado Diaz is the rally buster.
Good for the Valkyries extending this rally, playing really scrappy. But when you give a free ball to the Dallas Pulse, they are going to punish it. That line wide open. Maldonado Diaz got on it so fast.
Schwann. Boy, that is what we have seen a lot from Courtney Schwann over the last couple of years. And Amy Pauley joked with me before this match. She said, look, with Courtney Schwann, you're going to trust her arm. We've almost said to the effect of no tips allowed. I can't imagine that you're going to take the tip away from Courtney Schwann entirely, because that was a good time for her. But you get the idea. Trust your arm and work in the tip.
Yeah, have the situational awareness, 100%.
There, Collier off the bick, body by Shampoo. Joust at the net, Foster pulls it out. Schwann, this time in transition, had a big old approach there, but into the net it goes.
The transition kills, and attacking in transition is an area of the game that Coach Amy Pauley said at least 2 matches ago. Point scoring in transition is something that they need to improve upon.
And just like that, Dallas has entered the red zone. Maldonado Diaz serves, it's a service error.
Dallas Pulse, that's their 15th service error, but when I think about their game as a whole, that's pretty much the only weak spot I'm seeing right now in their game.
And a lot of those service errors have been competitive ones. Not a ton of those net service errors as Collier shreds into the cross court.
I talk about Collier carrying the load. To get as many sets as she does and to be as efficient as she is just so impressive. She contacts that ball so high, and like I said before, it's the physicality that really sets her apart.
Interesting here, no setter on the floor in this rotation for Dallas. They brought Kelsey Payne in, Kaylee Cox is still in. Point goes to Orlando.
Blocks up, Kelsey Payne, pretty big block up there.
And Natalie Foster will serve again. Off the net. Collier off the block and out.
The last time these two teams played, Coach Windsor told me Natalie Foster went on a 7-0 serving run. The Valkyries were down 18-23, and Natalie Foster went on this incredible run to get them to win that set. So there, sigh of relief. Natalie Foster off the service line, can't go on any runs.
3 points from the match for the Pulse. Schwann plays it off the floor, and Kaylee Cox puts it right back where it came from. Timeout taken by Orlando.
Good coverage by the Valkyries, but just the overset there. Kaylee Cox, that's a money ball. No blocker really up on you, kind of an open net. You take care of that one. Really, it just feels like the Dallas Pulse has been in control throughout most of this match, kind of controlling the tempo, the pace. Defensively, they've been very locked in, out-blocking the Valkyries. 11 blocks for them as opposed to the Valkyries 5.
Dallas is well on their way to a road win, and perhaps a road win in straights. And it just brings me to this point, Madison. Home teams coming into today have only won 41% of their matches across the league. Indy, an overwhelming positive record at home. San Diego has a positive record at home. They combined had 11 of the 23 home wins across the league. Everybody else accounts for 12 combined.
Oh, wow. And Dallas Pulse is really good in away games. They're 6-1 when they're away.
And of course, Orlando too. They only have 2 of their 8 wins at home here at Edition Financial Arena, and it looks like it very well might stay that way. Kaz Brown doesn't want it to stay that way, clearly, and that's another kill for her.
I love the sense of urgency. You can feel it from Kaz Brown. She's not tipping to a spot. There's no peak on that. No, she's putting that ball down with authority. She is tipping with authority to finish that play.
Orlando's going to go to the dub sub. It's a different look because they started Vanderwide at the opposite. So now it's Pukas and Chimay checking in. Hort skies for it and puts it away. Match points coming for the Pulse.
Valentine Anderson loves to run her middles in serve receive. Caitlin Hort just tipping to the right spot there. Really reaching for that ball and putting it down.
Orlando's going to go right back to their original duo, Shampoo and Lindsay Vanderwide. Handful of match points coming. Collier will serve. Well, you said it. It's been the one error. It's been the one issue that has consistently reared itself for Dallas. When you're hitting as well as they are as a team and you can still win this match in straights off a side out, you'll take it. Hitting 310 combined. Cox off the right side will put this match away, and the Pulse prevail in Orlando, winning it in straights and winning set 3, 25-19.
And that's only Kaylee Cox's 4th kill, and possibly the most important. They're just finishing it. Like I said before, the Pulse came in here confident. They came in playing at their own speed, at their own tempo, and they kind of ran the gauntlet pretty confidently throughout all those 3 sets.
And for Dallas, they've got a couple of matches against Columbus and Atlanta. For Orlando, they now go on the road to Indy. What do you expect to see out of each of these teams moving forward?
Oh, the race to the playoffs is getting tighter and tighter. I obviously expect both teams to battle it out. I think we can expect many 4-setters and 5-setters, and we will see what happens as it just continues to heat up. Like I said, there's a serious race to the playoffs.
Well, Madison, as always, it has been a pleasure as we sign off from Edition Financial Arena. Dallas, the winners in straight sets over Orlando here in Central Florida tonight. Congratulations to the Pulse. The Valkyries still firmly in the playoff picture, and with that, we say farewell.
Pony Club.